Since the original release back in 2015, I've been enjoying the free-to-play game Fishing Planet. But now there's a retail release for the game, the Fisherman Fishing Planet. But should you be reeling in this one on your console, or is falling for it more like hook, line, and stinker? As we begin, I have to preface this review by saying I really do enjoy Fishing Planet on PC. The free-to-play model works well, and even though there are plenty of barriers, microtransactions, and the like, you can easily enjoy the game for quite a while without spending any real game money. Unfortunately though, this retail release, which is mostly identical from Fishing Planet, I really can't say the same for. The core gameplay remains identical, and almost everything about this game is the same from Fishing Planet, with a couple of minor additions and some new content that is still locked behind the game's in-game money. At its core, the Fisherman Fishing Planet is a very slow-paced fishing simulator, so if you're somebody who absolutely adores fishing and want a video game representation, this is one of the better versions you're going to be able to get on the current market. The game is very much mission-based, with all the different places that you get to go to throughout the world having different missions and setups for you to do, completing them giving you various rewards, money, and experience. As you gain experience, of course, you'll level up, be able to unlock new stuff, as well as go to new places. Every one of the locations is locked behind a level wall, so you'll have to reach that in order to go to later game locations. Each one of the different locations provides more species of fish to catch. There's over 140 species of fish for you to grab throughout the course of the game. Each one of these fish may require different setups, different rods, reels, lines, hooks, and of course, bait. The game does a good job of teaching you different fishing techniques, different reeling techniques, some of which will end up being more beneficial than others for certain types of fish. There's also a nice menu to tell you what type of fish are located in each area, as well as what you'll need to catch each one. The in-game weather system informs you of what's going on temperature-wise and how much fish are available at certain times of day, so you know when it's best for you to go fishing. Most missions in the game are pretty typical stuff, catching each type of fish in every one of the locations, doing certain type of reeling techniques, catching fish with certain types of reeling techniques and the like. All relatively simple things that each time you complete one, of course, you'll get that bit of extra experience. There's also plenty of competitions to compete in that have different setups, and you'll need either certain types of equipment or going after certain fish, different time limits and the like, and by completing them, you'll also be rewarded nicely. The game has a decent amount of freedom to it. If you don't want to complete the missions, you don't have to. If you don't want to go after certain fish, you can just go to whichever areas you want to and catch at your own pace. Every time you catch a fish, you are rewarded with experience. Every new species you get a bonus to that, so you can easily level up without having to do any of the game's main missions if you don't want to. The game features a ton of different equipment, different reels, spinners, sinkers, types of bait, types of rods, boats, kayaks, and the like to help you in your fishing experience. Thankfully though, the actual fishing is very enjoyable. It's of course more on the slower pace side, so if you're looking for an arcadey fishing experience, this definitely is not it. But actually casting your rod, being able to reel in the different fish, the whole battle of you versus the fish to finally get them in, relieving and bringing up the tension and such, is essential for being able to finally bring in those trophy-worthy fish, and when you finally get one, it is very satisfying. What's not satisfying though is the UI. This is one of the worst user interfaces I've ever dealt with. Worse than even the recent bus simulator that I played a few months back. Basically, in the menu system, you use, and I'm not kidding, the D-pad, the left stick, and the right stick all to do different things, and they all work differently depending upon what menu you're currently looking at in the UI. Getting around, actually buying stuff, equipping stuff is nightmarish at times, especially early on, and even after playing for hours and feeling a bit more confident, I still had constant problems navigating the menus, making little mistakes and selecting things I didn't mean to. I don't know why it's so messed up, but they did a terrible job of bringing the UI over. One of the big changes for this version that I really like is the licenses. In the free-to-play version, the licenses were limited, so you only had a certain number of minutes to fish at an area before it ran out, whereas in this version, you can buy a license and fish there unlimitedly. I do have one gripe, and that is your progress cannot be carried over from the free-to-play version to this retail release. It would have been nice to be able to keep my character instead of having to start from the beginning. From the technical side of things, thankfully the game didn't crash on me. I had minor slowdowns and hiccups here and there, texture pop-in is really bad at times on certain lakes. You can really see things kind of just appear out of nowhere in the distance, but other than that, it wasn't anything that really took me too far out of the experience. Overall, while the Fisherman Fishing Planet is the best fishing simulator I've played in recent years, it's a bit hard to recommend the retail release over the free-to-play release. And while I would give the original free-to-play version an 8 out of 10, I am giving this retail release a 6 out of 10. That's going to wrap up this review though. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.